ni.
Kita terus masuk ke story pertama kami. Adakah ekonomi kita selepas COVID-19 ini lagi teruk daripada kemelesetan zaman meleset tahun 1920-an dan 1930-an ataupun the Great Depression? Sebab kita jarang menggunakan bahasa Malaysia untuk refer to the Great Depression.
Yes.
So saya Google, yang saya dapat tahu sebenarnya Great Depression dalam bahasa Malaysia adalah zaman meleset.
So, adakah dunia sekarang tengah meleset? Hadi?
Saya rasa pada pendapat saya kita menuju, berdasarkan apa yang saya baca lah, kita memang menuju kepada some sort of economical punya crisis. How bad it is still to be seen because it is still ongoing. COVID, some countries are still under lockdown, ekonomi dia tak buka lagi. We have to wait and see how bad it is, and given how the global economy now is all intertwined, so if it is bad in America, it will be bad here. If it's bad in China, it will be bad here as well. So China pun kita kena bersiap sedia lah.
Sebab kalau kita tengok dekat Malaysia pun kadar pengangguran pun semakin meningkat sedikit. Kalau kita tengok dalam media, Esro Awani pun pernah laporkan, Malay Mail pun pernah laporkan, saya tak pasti kalau benar news ada laporkan bahawa ramai orang sekarang mereka menghadap macam financial crisis lah. Mereka tak dapat nak bayar installment pinjaman mereka, mereka tak dapat nak ramai yang kita dengar juga cerita-cerita yang diorang hilang pekerjaan dan sebagainya kan. Maknanya berita ni memang sepatutnya benar lah kan. Tapi how widespread it is kita tak pastilah, betul ke macam tu? Wen Jun macam mana?
Malaysia unemployment bukan sedikit, tapi kalau ikut Trade Union Congress, they said that quite a lot. Lepas tu semalam pun certain politicians mentioned that I think we have about 1.5 million who are going to lose their jobs, or it's going to hit that number 1.5 million. There are certain sectors who need people, they're not getting it. Tapi certain sectors yang dah redundant, dah tak boleh pakai, those sectors are losing jobs. But exactly which, I'm not sure. It's just from what I'm hearing, there are people still being hired, but then from what I'm seeing that it's going to be shifting. So there are going to be sectors who need people, and I think people who lose their jobs, they have to kind of be ready to pick it up lah.
Sebab kita boleh tengok setengah-setengah industri seperti industri pelancongan memang kena teruk lah. Waktu MCO, waktu PKP dan sebagainya, banyak hotel-hotel yang tutup dan sebagainya kan. Kedai-kedai makan pun banyak yang tutup. Kalau kita nak tengok daripada segi retail, orang membeli belah dan sebagainya, sebenarnya kalau kita tengok laporan tak ada beza. Cuma diorang tak pergi ke kedai, diorang beli online.
That's not exactly true.
Tapi,
because companies like Zara, H&M are now also closing down. Some have already declared bankruptcy.
Ya,
So
tapi
the
diorang tak
retail
menjual
industry
online.
is also kind of closing.
Tak, maksud saya ada laporan yang telah keluar, saya baca daripada The Edge yang mengatakan bahawa orang masih membeli belah. Cuma diorang tak pergi ke kedai. H&M dan sebagainya, Zara, mereka adalah brick and mortar stores.
That's true.
So the same percentage of orang yang membeli belah sekarang dah pindah, mereka tak pergi ke kedai, mereka terus pindah ke e-commerce.
Sebagai seorang yang selalu berpelesiran di shopping complex, there's a lot of people, but of course orang kata online shopping memang meningkat. Tetapi sejak mall dibuka balik, saya dapat saksikan memang ramai orang dah pergi kedai balik. Tetapi the problem is harga jatuh lah. Bila harga jatuh, deflasi is a very concern juga. So kalau harga jatuh, a lot of people will lose their jobs, macam yang dipredict 1.5 million tu. Store owners tak dapat bayar gaji dan sebagainya, mereka terpaksa turunkan harga dan sebagainya, dan ini menjadi satu problem lah, masalah besar lah kepada negara kita.
You also have to think about the fact that when you move the commerce to e-commerce and it moves to online shopping, like you said, brick and mortar stores versus online stores, the overhead is a lot less when it comes to, say, a shop on Shopee or whatever, because you can run it by yourself.
Dan kalau kita tengok Malaysia pun sebenarnya berjaya. Kalau kita tengok dah 3 bulan kita PKP, kita lebih kurang dah berjaya nak mengawal kadar infeksi dan sebagainya, dan ekonomi dan industri-industri di Malaysia pun semakin terbuka. Kita dah mula nak rejuvenate balik kan. Tapi kalau negara kita saja yang boleh rejuvenate, tapi negara-negara lain makin teruk, kita punya international trade pun akan suffer. Adakah kita sebenarnya ekonomi di Malaysia bergantung kepada pemulihan ekonomi di negara-negara lain, di rantau-rantau lain lah?
Memang kita sebagai manufacturing country, kita memang rely a lot on our export to other countries, macam kilang-kilang kita. PlayStation 5 dibuat di Malaysia, di Bangi. Yes, so kalau macam tak ada demand untuk benda-benda ni, jadi kilang-kilang kat Malaysia ni akan ditutup. Dan kilang-kilang is very finicky. Dia macam kalau demand turun sikit je, they would just cut their losses and or move it to another country, and that would eventually affect a lot of people yang kerja rely on all these factories to be open. Hari tu kita recover kejap sebab our China punya demand was low, but America punya investment picked up a bit. But now America pun macam going to slow down, so if we could recoup back by getting back our Chinese investment, it would be amazing. But if not, then we would have to find other sources of investment for our manufacturing side.
Wanjun, I feel like you have something to say to what Hadi just said.
I think that some of the our economists actually said that Malaysia is self-sufficient. Cuma, what we have extra now is political instability. So because of political instability, that's going to affect our FDI, our foreign direct investments. What we need to fix right now for Malaysia is the political instability. Itu ekonomis yang baru cakap lah. Otherwise, actually we are one of the countries who's actually considered in a way self-sufficient. But of course, like you mentioned, kalau China dengan US, whether we are totally dependent on them, I don't think so much. We are in certain sectors. For instance, microchip processing, manufacturing, a big market of that goes up actually from the US. Malaysia, for us, such a tiny country, kita boleh bounce back. Walaupun kena tunggu, I guess China dengan US pun, although China pun actually tengah susah, but they will be able to bounce back faster than us.